CodingBytes tutorial. Today we will be covering units 6 to 11, which focus on problems involving strings in Java. Right, so our first problem is create a string named name and assign the value Timmy to it, and print out the length of the string variable name. Now, if you don't remember what a string is, a string in Java is just a piece of text. So to create a string, or to initialize one, we have to put the type, which is the string, and then what we want to call it in Java, which is name, and its value, which will be Timmy. And we want to get the length of this variable. Now, how do we get the length of a string in Java? And the way we get the length of a string is to use the method length. So if we put name.length, then this will get the length of the string. So all we have to do is print this. So we go system.out.println name.length. And if you're unsure about how to print things, I suggest you check out my previous tutorial on this Java REPL speedrun, and that should get you up to speed. Right. So if we run this code, wait for a bit. As you can see, it's printed out 5, and there are indeed 5 letters in the word Timmy. So this code should work. Now, as you can see, the code is working. Now on to the next one. All print statements in this exercise should be on one line with no new lines. First, we want to print out the character in the 5th index of the string str. Then we want to print out the character in the 8th index. Then we want to print out the character in the 1st index. And then we want to print out the index in the ith index of the string. So how do we do this? Well, we need to use a method called char@, which returns a character. So in Java, a char is a single character. It's like A, it's like A or like B or like 1, but it's only one character. Okay, so we want to print out these all on one line. So we want to print the one at the 5th index. So str.char@, and we want to put an index. So we want to put 5. And we want to print out the one at the 8th index. So we will get the character at the 8th index. And we want to get the character at the 1st index. And we want to get the character at the ith index. So I'm not too sure how they want to print this code, but this code should be working. Okay, sorry, forgot the semicolon, but now this code should be working. 4, 3, 7, oops, looks like we've made a mistake. So, why would this be returning a mistake? Maybe if we are adding the characters, that would cause a problem. So let's try to insert an empty string. Maybe that's the issue. Oh, and right. So when we are getting this character, it's actually giving us a number back in return, the index of the character. And so what we actually want to do is convert all of these to strings, and we can do that by putting a simple string in the middle of our print statement, and it converts them to TBPOP. And this should work, I think. Right. And so that was the correct code. So that's how we solved that problem. And that's how you get the character at a certain position in Java. Bring this a bit closer, light stain my face. Okay, so for our next problem, we first want to print out the position of the first occurrence of C. Then we want to print out the first position of space. And then we want to print out the position of the first occurrence of target 1 and target 2. So what we want to do in this case is we want to get the index of some substring, right? So To get the first occurrence of something, we want to use this method called index of. So str.index of, and this will get the first occurrence of whatever string we put in here. So if we print this, so system.out.println, and we want to get C, because it says C over here. We just run this code and put a semicolon. As you can see, it's outputting 4, and that's because we first find C at the 4th index of the string. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that indexes always start in 0 in Java. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, because C is at the 4th index and it's the first C, we're getting the 4 back, and so that's correct. The position of the first occurrence of C is indeed 4. So to get the next character, which is a space, we can change this instead of C to a space, and it will find the first space and get that. Now, we can put any string in here. We can actually put a variable, and that's what we're going to do for this variable target1. So for target1, we can just insert that right there, and we can also insert target2 right there, and it will find the first occurrence of those patterns in this string. So 4, 11, 6, and -1. So -1 is a special case. As you can see, we have abra, all in capitals, and we never see that throughout the string because this is case sensitive. Now, if index of can't find the string in the substring in our bigger string, it's going to return -1. So if it returns -1, we know that the substring was not in the original string. Now that we know all of the code's working, we can press submit, and this should give us the correct answer. And like that, we got it. So the next one, all output should be on one line. On line 6, write a print statement that prints out a substring of strings starting at index 5 and going to index 7. Okay. On line 7, write a print statement that prints the output of that line. Okay. Of a substring starting at index 7 and ending at index 10. On line 10, fill in the empty brackets in substring so it prints Harambe. And on line 11, fill it so it prints TF. Right. So we want to get a substring. And how do we get a substring? Well, we're going to use a method called substring. Right. So what we can do is if we set this to string and we want to get the substring, so it's a method called substring. We can get the indexes of we can print the indexes of this. So if you go system.out, now println, and we put in the indexes of the start and end of the substring that we want, we can get that. So we want to start at index 5 and go to the end, we can just put 5. Oh, sorry, we can put 5 in there. And if we comment out this code, remember comment is you press Control / and that will comment out all of the code you're highlighting. Run this. We should get PS out for Harambe because it's getting a substring where we start at the 5th index, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it starts at P and it gets to the end, and it's more or less just copying this and putting it in there. That's what it's doing. Now, what if we want to get one that starts at index 7 and ends at index 10? That's fine. Our method takes in 2 variables. And so the first one will be the one where it starts, and the last one will be the one where it ends. Actually, I'm not sure if this one, I think it has to be one more because this last one is exclusive. Let's just check that. Yeah, so that's correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is correct. So we actually need to make it one more than the index. Finally, we want to fill in the blanks here. So we want to make this print Harambe. So let's get the first index of h. So that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I think. And then Harambe ends at the end, so we can leave it as 16. Now, if we want to get TF, well, where's that? It's over here, T and F. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So T is at the 10th index, and F is at the 12th index. So if we put 10, 13, remember, we're adding 1 to this, 12 plus 1. Because this is exclusive, it should put TF. So if we run this code, as you can see, it's working perfectly. And so that's how you get a substring of a number in Java. Oh, wait, what's wrong? Looks like they want us to end specifically at index 10 without adding another number. So we're actually only getting the digits from 7 to 9. And therefore, this should be working now. So that's how you get a substring. Okay, next, we're given a string. And we want to print the first 3 letters of the string is that. Okay, that's cool. So this is a little interesting problem. We are now also given an input. So this is how we're going to input code from a REPL. Because, okay, it's all good when we already know like the preset, oh, okay, it has to say Harambe, oh, it has to say TF. But what if we don't know it in advance? Well, we want to input it. So if we just run this code right now, it's going to wait for our input. And if we wait, then if we type something here, it will register into the code and store it as the string. So if you put 111, it will store it as a string. And to show that to you, I'm going to print the string, system.out.println. And if you put string for str there, and run this code, and wait. Okay, so our input, if we put 111, then it should output 111. So we can use this input that the user gives us in our code. Okay, so we want to print the first 3 letters of that string, of the input string is that. And how are we going to do that? Well, first let's make that text the first 3 letters of, and then now we want to insert our string here. And then we want to put is, and we want to insert the first 3 letters of the string. Now remember, to get the first 3 letters of the string, we can go string.substring, and we want to start at index 0 and end at index 3, because this is exclusive. So this will get the characters at indexes 0, 1, and 2, which are the first 3 characters of the string. So if we want to put like banana as our, oh wait, I should have waited for, yeah, so there we go. The first 3 letters of banana is that, which is the correct output over here. Right, it's cool. So that's how you are going to input code into this REPL. And that's how we're going to be able to run different tests now. So now, say this one's dog, this one's blueberry, this one's banana. It's going to test all of these different ones. And we'll be able to run better code that can adapt more to the situation. Finally, let's go to the last one. Given 3 variables, string, int start, and int end, print out the following string. The substring of string from start to end is substring string start to end inclusive. Okay. We are counting the end index in our output. Okay. So we already have our variables here, string, start, and end. So we can simply print our output. So first we want to put the substring of until that, so the substring of, remember, yep, text. And then we want to insert the string, which we can do by adding string. And then we can put from, and we want to add the start. And remember, this will convert the integer automatically into a string. So yeah, that's fine. And we want to add end over here is, and now we want to have the substring from start to end. So how do we get that? Well, we can go string.substring, and we can start at the start, and we want to end at the end +1 because remember this is exclusive, and they want us to count the end index in our output. So this makes it the substring start at index start and end at index end. So oops, let's copy some example code. So if we run this code now and copy this example, I forgot to add a plus sign. Oops. Let's try it again. Yep, so if we put the input as lol what, and then, oh, sorry, this is the input here. Okay. So, okay, if we have an input as lol what, our start is 2, our end is 4, then the substring of lol what from 2 to 4 is inclusive, is LW. Okay, so we have to add inclusive there. So if we submit this code, let's see if it works. I'm not too sure. Okay, so it looks like we've solved the problem successfully, hopefully. And so that was the end of our string speedrun. I hope that you're now confident in coding some string methods in Java, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Leave a comment on whether I should continue doing these or I should do something else. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like and be sure to subscribe. See you!